I'm Bailey Bowman. This is my informative speech. It's July 5th, and this is my audience. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? It's the idea that events affect other events. An example of this would be a butterfly flapping its wings in China today can make it rain in America tomorrow. Another example would be that people driving their cars today could cause people living in Pacific Islands to lose their homes due to flooding in the future. This is because of something called the greenhouse effect. In an article titled 29 Climate Change for the Oxford University Press, Trevor Day explains that greenhouse effect. When sunlight strikes the Earth's surface and atmosphere, most of it is absorbed and warms the planet. However, some of the absorbed heat is emitted back into space as infrared radiation. Certain gases such as carbon dioxide absorb some of the infrared, trapping heat energy in the Earth's atmosphere. I'm talking about global warming because it is an important issue that will affect the entire world in some way or another. Temperature is increasing, causing oceans to warm, and many forms of wildlife are being affected, as well as crops and plants. Now that you know the cause of global warming, I will tell you about some of the effects. Warm temperatures are causing oceans to heat up. When the oceans heat, the sea ice will melt, and that will cause the ocean's water to rise. According to Linda E. Taylor, in an article for Canada and the World Backgrounder titled Temperature Rising, 5 island nations are expected to disappear entirely in the next century as sea levels rise. And according to the World Almanac for Kids 2010, sea levels already threaten coastal villages in Russia, Alaska, and many Pacific islands. The World Almanac for Kids 2010 also says warmer temperatures in the ocean will lead to more hurricanes and typhoons. Now that I've told you some of the effects on the ocean, I will tell you how it can also affect animals. According to Glenn Phelan, in an article for the National Geographic Explorer titled Melting Away, the Antarctic and Arctic sea ice melts and forms clouds that produce snow. You might not think that sounds like a bad thing, but penguins in Antarctica normally lay their eggs on dry land and are now being forced to lay them on snow. When the snow melts, it creates water, which may rot many of the eggs. That's causing the number of penguins to decline. Phelan also states in the article that warmer areas are also being affected. In the article he says, tiny animals called coral polyps build huge coral reefs in warm ocean water. If the water is too warm, the polyps will die. The coral reefs become white, and the fish that live in them have to find new homes. Those are just a few of the many animals that are affected by global warming. I'll now tell you another effect. Plants and crops are also affected. According to Compton's by Botanica, in an article titled Global Warming, plants are being affected both negatively and positively. The article states, forests in the northern hemisphere have longer growing seasons, which is beneficial. However, some of the forests are suffering from infestations and an increase in forest fire due to warm weather. The article also says that agriculture also has a mixed effect. Areas in mid to high altitudes have a longer growing season, which has moderately boosted the crop yield. In tropical and subtropical areas, however, agriculture has been affected negatively due to intense and more frequent droughts. So you can see how global warming is rising temperatures and causing problems for wildlife, plants, and crops. But these are only a few problems, and global warming will affect everyone in the world in some way.